Today I'm going to talk about what it is to feel judged. So I'm going to start with just a little bit about myself and then start talking about what happens when we feel judged, what the consequences of feeling judged are, and just basically how things happen the way they do. So I started feeling interested in this topic when I was training. I worked with heavy drinkers and substance users who felt very judged. They were stigmatised, labelled, discriminated against, and were trying very hard to overcome their difficulties, but were still feeling very upset and distressed about how other people's standards felt like they were affecting them badly. So then after that, I worked with anxiety and depression, and then how people feel judged during their issues with anxiety and depression, and then again with couples who judge each other and find themselves fighting with each other because they judge each other, basically. Feeling judged, I think, is all about, everyday life, I think, is very important. When we feel stressed, when there's bullying or harassment or, any discrimination in the workplace. And I think early childhood issues have an effect as well on how we perceive other people are judging us and how we judge them. And if they're left unresolved, then of course there's issues around how we need to address those issues in order for our behaviour not to find its way into everyday issues as it does. Other people's views and opinions become internalised from an early age, and they mould our views and opinions and into judgments, which actually affects our self-esteem, confidence, self-worth, and beliefs. And then when we feel misjudged and devalued, we seek reassurance and affirmation from other people, which often lands up with us people pleasing too much. We compromise ourselves and feel as if we're not good enough and that we don't meet other people's values and standards. So then I kind of thought about this in two ways, using my understanding of anxiety and depression. I thought about how anxiety works to defend us, and also how when we feel frustrated, anger acts to defend us. Because when we feel judged, we feel very threatened. So we don't always know about this. Often, we can just be going about our everyday lives, and we might meet up with someone, a friend or a relative, and we're just all of a sudden feeling that they're judging us in a way that feels that they can kind of see right through us. We just don't feel good enough. We don't feel worthy. And then if this becomes a regular situation where we keep feeling judged by this one particular person or several people, we kind of find ourselves feeling that we're undervalued, we're not worthy, and every time we meet this person or these people, we find ourselves feeling like we have to meet what we perceive are their expectations. And then, of course, we're striving to achieve something we might feel is very difficult right now. Just to go on from there, so when we're feeling judged, how we feel the other person is judging us can be the mirror through which we see ourselves and the mirror through which we think other people can too. We learn to watch out for ourselves. We become hyper-vigilant, ensuring that we've covered all known possibilities when we meet this person, that somehow that if we're not meeting their expectations, they will judge us. We judge ourselves as not good enough when we're anxious and when we perceive that they're seeing us through this kind of lens of feeling judged, through this lens of feeling that we're judged. We might seek their advice, we might seek their suggestions just to feel easier, but we find we can't take these on board. We feel they don't value us, we feel not good enough, and we feel just exposed. If we're feeling like this for too long, we'll end up feeling isolated, alienated, and quite withdrawn. We find ourselves not going out so much, meeting other people, we're not socialising so much, or enjoying ourselves or living the life we want to live. Everything we're doing is measured by the other person's success and how we feel we're meeting the other person's expectations. I think actually we start not to trust then. We start not to trust anybody. We start to feel that we can only trust our own view. And if others, and that view compromises our identity, it stops us valuing ourselves. So we just kind of look out to other people all the time to help us to feel good about ourselves. That can include the way we dress, the way we present ourselves. Do we fit? Are we meeting what we perceive to be their standards? Are we part of the group? All these things, all these issues that we find ourselves kind of grappling with and struggling with become very, very difficult, and ultimately can lead to depression and just anxiety disorders. And I think what comes into that as well, going on from trust, is guilt. Guilt is a policing system, and it polices us when we do wrong. It's more likely to criticise us and make us feel guilty if we feel the other person is judging us and we're not meeting their expectations. Guilt, I think, actually knows us better than we know it. So in fact, there's something to be gained from feeling judged, just in as much as it will ensure that the belief system that we have that makes us feel uncomfortable it just continues to resist any kind of change. So even if we think we will change, or we will think that we're imagining this, and this sense of feeling judged will just go away, every time we come up against judgment, that belief system will activate and help you to kind of stay with your own perception, because we don't like uncertainty, and we don't like to change. We like things to stay the same. So there's something to be gained from just staying the same and letting the belief make you feel uncomfortable whenever you feel judged. So guilt's a bit like an internalised critic. It will criticise you when it doesn't feel that you're meeting your standards, the other person's standards, or whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So having talked about some of the themes which for all of us which run through what it is to feel judged, how we lose trust, guilt as a policing system, what it is to feel discriminated against, harassed or bullied, and how they can contribute to how we feel judged. I just want to talk about some of the things you might like to look out for should you be feeling judged and not recognising that things have changed for you. A change, if you're living with someone, a partner, a friend or a relative, they might notice that there's been a change in your behaviour which you haven't noticed. If that's the case, I think it's quite important for us all to step back and just kind of reflect on what we think it is that's changed, whether or not our circumstances and situations have changed. Is that what's caused the shift in behaviour? You know, are you feeling more agitated? Are you feeling more anxious? Are you judging others before they judge you? Because that can also contribute to a change in behaviour. I mean, it can be that you're feeling a bit frustrated and angry, and if you are, then you're going to jump in and judge others before they judge you. You can become quite snappy, I think, and just feel that we can all feel that the world's against us. You know, when we're feeling threatened, or when people have threatened us before, and it seems to be an ongoing, continuous situation. So I think as well, just to remember, with guilt, it is a policing system, and it's not your fault if you feel judged. But because there's gain to be had by the policing system telling you you've done wrong, it becomes quite difficult to talk about how you're feeling. And I think it's important, now we're all kind of asked to talk more and share more, that you do try to talk, even if it feels difficult. Talk to a friend or a relative, or come into therapy, whatever it is that might make you feel safe again and secure, because you'll be feeling quite uncertain by now. So just to sum up, I think there's also about feeling not good enough, which is very important, because that's about whether you feel worthy. Some of these concepts are quite difficult to understand for us all, and I think worthiness is about feeling valued, feeling you don't have to be perfect, you can make mistakes, and it's all right just to be you. It's all right to be whoever you are, and you can just feel comfortable just being yourself. So notice any changes in behaviour, talk to your friends, relatives, people who you think will understand you. Try to articulate what it is you want to say, See if you can have a discussion rather than feeling panicky or agitated. You know, remember that if you're thinking about a therapy, then it's a process. It's about learning about yourself and discovering. It's not about judging yourself. It's about how you can come to terms with and accept who you are, how you want to be, and how you can just live your best life, really.